So today I want to show you a relatively simple sequencing setup inspired by the new Ozark UREC module. This is what it looks like. So what we have with Ozark is a 5-step sequence that advances with a combination of two clock dividers, so we get these interesting rhythms. And we will build this setup in the node grid. We will start with a 5-step sequence. Now we can easily use something like the steps module, right? Set it to 5 steps, change the values. But I would like to have a macro control setup eventually, and we cannot really map the individual steps. So what we will do, we will build our own sequencer. For this, we need the value module. Right, with it, we can send or set different values. We set this to be bipolar, so we can have also lower pitch, and we will have 5 of them, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now we will use the merge module to switch between these steps, and that's how we get our sequence, right? So also this we will set to 5 steps. And we set it here to the nearest mode, so it will switch between the steps and will not crossfade between them. So now we can connect our steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and eventually we'll send this also through attenuation, through the attenuator here, so we can control also the level or the range of this sequence. And then from there it will go to the by-scale quantizer module, so everything will be quantized to the scale of your project, and then to the pitch output here on the output module. And now let's build the clock section. So we will use the triggers module. Let's turn on here mute when stopped, so we know when we stop the project nothing will happen. Then we will set this to 16, so we have a resolution of 16th notes. And again on Ozark we have two clock dividers that will divide this clock, and then they can be combined together to one stream via the OR we have also XOR logic, and this is what creates these unique rhythms. So in Bitwig we will use two clock dividers, 1 and 2, and we will use also both logic functions. So we have OR and we have XOR, right? The triggers will go to the clock dividers, and then from there we have once the OR, once the XOR, the same with the other clock division. Now OR output will output a signal when one divider or the other divider or both are active, are high, basically combining both streams. And XOR will output a signal only when one divider or the other, but not when both are active, are high, so we get a different result. And then to switch between them, so we can choose one or the other, we will use the toggle in module, right? We have once the OR, once the XOR, so we can toggle between them or switch between them. And now we need to use this to drive the merge module, right? We want this result to eventually scan through the sequence, and for this we need a phase signal again to scan through the inputs. We can easily convert these triggers to phase with the phase counter. Let me just move this here. Right, we have the phase counter module. When we use the toggle in output, set this again to 5 steps, and this will drive the merge module. And we can also use the signal from the toggle in to trigger our voice, so this will be our gate. And before we test this, I want to use the transport playing module to reset everything, so everything is in sync, right? The transport playing will output a trigger whenever we hit play, so we have a reset on both clock dividers and also on the counter. So now when I play this, we should get a sequence. Right, now we can change the pitch, so if I open the attenuation a bit, I can just start changing the notes. Right, and we have a sequence. And now we can start changing the clock divisions and get interesting rhythms. So let's say we have now divisions of 2 and 2. Let's go with 2 and 3. right? Or 2 and 4, or 3 and 4, sorry. Three and 5. Right, so we get interesting rhythms, and again, for now we have it set with the OR logic, but XOR will give us a different result. And this is what it looks like. There are macro controls for everything, so you don't even have to look at the patch. You see, it looks more or less the same, but I can even close this and then use this setup without looking at the patch, right? So I will play this. Right, we already get a sequence. Now I can change its step. We have here the range control. Right, and we can start changing the dividers. Right, and again, OR or XOR. Right, for different results. We can even modulate things. So for example, I can take the divider, the second divider, all the way down, and then sequence it. To get different rhythms. I can even sequence individual steps, so for example step 5. Right, to get some variation. Now you can see that I call this setup Ozark Pitch Sequencer because I built another setup for modulation. So I have it here, right? Here instead of going to the pitch and the gate, I'm going to the timbre channel, and then I can use the expression modulator to send this sequence as modulation to different destinations. So for example, if I hit play here, right, I can send this, for example, to the filter and then start changing the notes. Also here we have a range control. Right, and again, change the division. So we get interesting rhythms also for modulation. I can also modulate the noise. Right, and that was it for today. Both presets are available on my Patreon if you are interested. Thank you for watching. Cheers.